hello, welcome to another Dragon Ball Explained. Okay, so the androids are more relevant than you may realize in Dragon Ball. There have been at least one android in every single incarnation of the show and the manga, from Z to GT, and even online and the like. So, let's try to dig up a little more about these androids. I want to start off talking about Dr. Gero's creations in order, though there is little information about many of them. To start off, androids 1 through 7 were absolute failures, and had no redeeming qualities, at least according to Dr. Gero. He disposed of them, and they were never spoken of again. However, Android 8 ended up being a mild success. He was fully mechanical, and had a bomb inside of him, something that will become a pattern in future androids. Where he failed was the fact that he was extremely peaceful, and not fit to fight at all. This was shown when he was activated by Ninja Murasaki to defeat Goku. But the android refused to fight. Ader, nicknamed that by Goku, helped Goku out through the remaining of Muscle Tower. He settled down in Jingle Village, and in the anime, he got his bomb taken out. In fact, Dr. Flappe is said to be his creator in the anime, but he was just filler. We could say that him and Dr. Gero were co-creators. The next android to be created was Android 9, and this is interesting. He has never been shown in anything that most people would consider canon, but he did appear in Dragon Ball SD, a super deformed manga, really for kids. He looked like a boxer there, but is actually a caricature of Akio Yoku, the editor-in-chief of V-Jump. That's obviously a joke, but Dragon Ball Online takes the subject of Android 9 a little more seriously. In the game's story, Android 9 is actually a replica of Commander Red, the leader of the Red Ribbon Army. He was found by the Red Pants Army, the successor of the Red Ribbon, and rebuilt. He's a hulking machine much larger than most characters, something the real Commander Red would be proud of. Androids 10 to 12 were all destroyed because of their faults, but 13 through 15 were close to the final designs. In the 7th Dragon Ball Z movie, Extreme Battle, the 3 great Super Saiyans, simply known as Super Android 13 in the States, we are shown just exactly what these androids could have been. Android 15 and 14 resemble stereotypical pimp and Native American characters respectively, while Android 13 seems to be based on a trucker. It takes Goku, Trunks, and Vegeta's Super Saiyan powers to defeat them, though the power cells that 14 and 15 have combine with 13 to create Super Android 13. This android nearly defeats Goku, until being stopped by a Spirit Bomb powered punch. I doubt 16, 17, and 18 need much of an introduction, but let's start with 16, who is completely mechanical. Like many of the androids, he was built with a bomb inside, but it was taken out by Dr. Briefs. He was modeled after Dr. Gero's son, who died in a battle serving the Red Ribbon Army. He was tucked away and never used because he was too kind, like Android 8, but also because Gero didn't want to have his son die again. He is, however, the strongest of the base androids. He was killed during the Cell games, but it was thanks to him that androids 17 and 18 became much kinder than their future counterparts. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, he is recreated by Android 21. She doesn't seem to know why, but in reality it's because she was the original model's mother. This version of 16 doesn't want to kill Goku. Android 16 was also used by the Red Pants Army to create copies for the heroes to fight in Dragon Ball Online. Speaking of 17 and 18 though, they were 2 teenagers named Lapis and Lazuli. They were kidnapped by Dr. Gero and converted into cyborgs. He couldn't control them very well, however, so he only used them as a last resort. Unlike other cyborgs, 17 and 18 were modified to a cellular level. Currently, they are the only 2 androids still around, besides Ader. 18 married Krillin and has a child named Marin, while 17 now works as a park ranger and is married to a woman with a biological child and 2 adopted children. He takes it upon himself to protect Monster Island and became the winner of the Tournament of Power. Their internal bombs were removed by Shenron thanks to Krillin's wish. Of course, I should mention their future counterparts killed a large part of the human race, but were killed by Trunks. Androids 19 and 20 were the first 2 androids we meet in Z. 19 is purely mechanical, and one of the few androids considered a success by Gero. He was completely obedient, but was killed by Vegeta as a Super Saiyan. Android 20 is fully mechanical as well, besides his brain. He has Dr. Gero's brain, in fact, the creator of the androids. He made himself and most of the other androids in order to get revenge on Goku. However, his computer continued running tests even after 20 was killed by Android 17. Unlike most androids, they have orbs on the palm of their hands that allow them to absorb energy. They were also meant to be the androids that Trunks was talking about when he first arrived on Earth, but one of Toriyama's editors said that they were pretty lame, so he switched them to androids 17 and 18. Android 21 is the newest android we've seen. She is a bio-android created from the cells and data of different fighters and scientists. Her base was actually the mother of Dr. Gero's son, and thus Android 16's mother. She divides herself into two, one evil and one good side. With the help of the Z Fighters, she was able to defeat her darkness. It appears that she has cells for Majin Buu as well, as her powers and look are very similar to the monster. She can also take on a human appearance that resembles a simple researcher. It looks like her story isn't over quite yet though, as she makes a cameo appearance in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Introduced in Dragon Ball Heroes, Nico is a human girl that enters the Dragon world as an android avatar, taking the form of Android 25. Her appearance is a callback to Android 19. She has various power-ups and forms. Similarly, Nim takes the form of Android 26. This time, his appearance is reminiscent of Android 17. And like the other two Dragon Ball heroes, Genome took the form of a bio-android based on Cell. There's a handful of androids in Dragon Ball Fusions that are just throwaway characters to defeat. They are numbered though, so I'll mention them. 33, 44, 55, and 76. While the first three are Earthlings, 76 is a Namekian. Anyways, in Dragon Ball Online, there are some enemy androids. Android 8000 and 8000 Mark II were based on Aider, and they fight the heroes under the Time Breaker's commands. Likewise, 19,000 was based on Android 19, though it looks like maybe some of 16 snuck in there too. They were both made by a Dr. Gero clone that was made by the Red Pants army. Of course, the most famous of Dr. Gero's androids is the bio-android Cell. He has cells from the majority of main characters at the time, and could use their various techniques. Cell has three forms, obtaining a new form when he absorbs 17 or 18. Once he has both of them, he enters into his perfect state. In his first and second form, he is able to use his tail to absorb energy similar to 19 and 20. And in Dragon Ball GT, he learned to extend his tail while in his perfect form in order to absorb again. He was defeated by Gohan. Self gave birth to mini versions of himself, named Cell Jr., who beat down the Z Fighters, until Gohan defeated them. I should also mention that there are other 7 Cell Juniors. They reside in 17's island. They may have regenerated from the original Cell Junior's nuclei, but Android 17 tamed them. They attacked Goten and Trunks as they took care of the animals during the Universe Survival arc. That was until they realized that they were Rangers, and they stopped. In Dragon Ball Online, and somewhat in Dragon Ball Heroes, it's a little different there. Towa revives Cell and grows him into Cell X. Cell X later lays eggs, giving birth to a bunch of little bio-androids. There are eggs, larvae, imperfect forms of them, and even Little Cell Jr. versions of them. In Dragon Ball GT, Android 17 was created in Hell by Dr. Mew and Dr. Gero in order to have Hell 17 fuse with regular 17 and open a portal to Hell. Their fusion gave birth to Super Android 17, Dr. Gero's greatest creation. According to him, in fact, 17 was supposed to be the strongest android before Cell. He could absorb Ki like 19 and 20, and had an invincible shield against Ki. It took Goku and 18 teaming up to defeat him. Most of the androids mentioned had an infinite energy supply, and do not age at all. Of course, there are other androids in Dragon Ball, but they don't belong in this category. They were either not made by Gero or just not considered as part of the android series. These include ARALE NORIMAKI, who, according to her creator, was the first android ever made on Earth. There was also Mira, Pirate Robot, and Major Metallitron. It's worth noting that Metallitron was part of the Red Ribbon Army, and most likely worked on by Gero. He was killed by Goku. There are some different fusions and absorptions featured in games that I should mention, such as Perfect 16, the fusion of 16 and Cell, Cell 17, the fusion of 17 and Cell, Android 16-17, the fusion of 16 and 17, Android 17-18, the fusion of 18 and 17, ARALE 18, the fusion of ARALE and 18, Android 19-20, the fusion of 20 and 19, and Celsa, the fusion of Cell and Frieza. Obviously, not the most creative titles. All of those were from Dragon Ball Fusions. If you guys want to find out about every single fusion ever in Dragon Ball, be sure to check out the link in the description. I made a video about that already. Super 17 has also absorbed various characters in Dragon Ball Heroes, including 16, 19, 18, and Cell. Another thing I should mention is Baby. He isn't a true android. Instead, he's a Neo-Machine mutant, created from the cells of the King Sufurujin, or the King of the Tuffles. He created a whole race of beings called the Machine Mutants, which included General Rildo and the Sigma Force. He could take over beings and ended up taking over all of Earth, including Vegeta. It took Super Saiyan 4 Goku to destroy him. Baby has various forms depending on his host. though he has 3 while in Vegeta's body. Prior to him, in a Dragon Ball Z Game Guide OVA, Hachiek was introduced, though most of you may know him from Raging Blast 2. He was an android made by Dr. Raichi to get revenge against the Saiyans in the name of the Zufurigins. His creator and himself were both destroyed after a lengthy battle against Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Piccolo. He has various transformations such as a giant form and a super form. I just thought those were the ones worth mentioning. There is also Metal Cooler and his many clones. After being defeated by Goku, Cooler's body merges with the Big Getty Star, making himself into a cyborg with a legion of clones. He is one giant head controlling the entire army, and he can also give himself a body. He's defeated by Goku and Vegeta, along with the rest of the star. And while we're at it, we should also talk about Mecha Frieza. He serves as a prelude to the Android arc. King Cold found Frieza's body floating in space and enhanced him with cybernetic components. Some say he's even stronger than he was before, but him and King Cold were both killed by Trunks. Most people don't really talk about those two when they talk about the androids, that's why I'm just putting a little blip here for them. Of course, things like Mira being created by Towa is important, but I feel like that would fit better in a different video, probably about the Demon Realm and its inhabitants. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to share with your friends who like Dragon Ball. It helps the channel a lot. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss a video. Shout out to these guys who answered the Dragon Ball question of the week last week. The Dragon Ball question of the week this week is, if you could create an android in Dragon Ball, what kind of android would you make? And what would you name him? What abilities would he have? Be creative. Leave your answers in the comments below with hashtag DBQ and you may appear in the next video. So start a discussion. Anyways guys, until we meet again. See ya!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Smugstick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.